G'day everybody, and welcome back to our next Codex review, Chaos Space Marines.
Cheers.
Cheers, for days. It's, the book's been out a while. I've had a bit of a journey with it. It's, there's some good, there's some bad. I'm going to go through it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
It's been out for a little while, yeah, which is interesting. It's not as topical as it was when it came out, but I've had a bit of experience with it now, so I can actually talk a little bit about it with a bit of authority.
Well, yeah, and then maybe we can talk about something that maybe other people aren't talking about.
Yeah, like Red Corsairs, because they're cool.
Is no one really talking about them?
Not that I've really seen, which is
weird.
weird.
It's just like
they're
the
good.
auto, like, straight line linear power good.
That's more word bearers.
Oh, really?
Just rerolls hits.
Everywhere?
In charges and stuff, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
It's good. But
Nice.
Red Corsairs is a good.
Yeah, that Red Corsair strategy was stupid, so which I'm
hilarious. I love it
people are
so
going to get
much.
into that one.
But yes, so there is a new codex that's been out for a while. What we're going to do, as we usually do in these, is we're going to sort of go through it. I'm going to bring up some of the specific points that we want to have a look at and talk about. It's not going to be a comprehensive, here's every page of the book, here's what we think of every single rule in it. If you want more detailed like bits and pieces, smaller videos, we go and do a deep dive into Red Corsairs, or Word Bearers, or Alpha Legion, or Iron Warriors, or Night Lords and Why They're Gay. We can, purely saying that because Locky loves them.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
Weirdly enough, I like their hats.
They're cooler in the... So it's so weird because they're misrepresented in the lore itself, contradicting them. So like, you know, the whole fear thing is just marketed as this like really, especially through the heresy, of just this really like all the legions are like they're pussies, right?
Right.
But then you get to the 40k stuff and it's like, no, they're actually super scary and crazy and gnarly and ridiculous. So it's kind of like, kind of like them, but then also like not really like them.
They have pretty fancy hats with them.
They're right. They flay people. That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty awesome.
And they wear bat wings on their head.
Yeah, you like Batman, you like Night Lords. Batman's pretty lame.
But point is,
I get so much shade for that. Batman's best.
If you want more detailed, condensed videos where we sort of deep dive into specific parts of it, whether it's this book or other books, let us know in the comments down below. It's a video style that we haven't done before and like to experiment with. Yeah. But let us know if it's something you'd like to see.
Yeah, especially some of the bigger books, I think
definitely
it would be helpful.
Yeah.
So and then we're also going to cover the main changes, right? If any.
There's quite a few changes. We'll cover the big ones that I think are important to mention. Yeah. But there's going to be a whole host of them that we're just not going to cover.
Cool.
Cool. So, first impressions, of course, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
As usual.
I'm
I was eck when I first saw the art and the cover, and the more I look at it, the more details and the more like crazy chaos stuff I get to see. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. It's good.
Yeah.
And then throughout the book as well, there's just gorgeous art everywhere in it. Like all this crazy Zinch stuff everywhere.
I mean, you can't have free, like, it's going to sound a bit bad, but it's kind of hard to mess up chaos art, right? You kind of have creative freedom with whatever you want.
I mean, to a point, yeah. But it doesn't stop it being good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks good. As usual, it's laid out perfectly. So, you know...
It's quite big too, right?
It's pretty hefty. It's up there with... I think it's the third biggest book after Eldar and CSF and regular Space Marines.
That Eldar book's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what, like 100-something pages?
Something like that. 170 something.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, that's big.
Yeah, 183.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go. It's quite big. Lots of cool lore. Look at that. Pretty nice. Nice big old Iron Warriors, Walksmith.
That actually looks really cool.
That's great.
It's very like Terminator-esque head.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
cool.
That's really cool.
A bunch of lore in it. All fantastic stuff. And then
that you haven't read?
No, I haven't read. There's nothing particularly new in it. I just haven't read it.
Yeah, they haven't really pushed it. The story seems to have kind of stagnated, right?
Which is good for a while. It's had a big leap forward. It needs to settle for a while so people can play the game and experience it, and then it can push forward again.
No, just keep moving
If
forward.
it pushes forward too fast, you run out of lore too quickly because you start bringing too many big players.
No, okay, do that. That's right.
Over time.
I want everything now!
So, few big things. Firstly, 2 wounds everywhere. Whoop-de-doo. We knew it was coming. It's about time. So, can't complain there.
Okay. We kind of can, right?
Should be 3 wounds.
Yeah.
Get on it, G-Dub.
It's happened too late.
So that's kind of cool. And then on to the first, I think, bad point.
Okay.
And this is a big one.
Oh.
Legion traits.
Yeah.
All the main legions are in here. As
Except
is the creations of Bile and the Red Corsairs.
Yeah.
For a sort of a Legion sub-faction and then a Renegade chapter.
Right.
And nothing else.
Okay.
There are no custom warbands.
Oh, yes!
There is no...
I remember you telling me this.
anything outside the big traitor legions or these two really specific factions.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Which is super weird, right?
Now, all of the factions in 40k,
Yeah.
which one would you say should have the most variety?
Yeah, because...
And the
yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
The Space Marines, the Codex following, loyal, bland...
Well, it's only 1,000, right? It's only 1,000 chapters.
Well, there's more than that, but there's only 1,000, it's roughly there.
Yeah, okay.
But the most bland, generic, following this old book written by some dusty old Primarch dude, they've got custom successor chapters. Loads of them. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff. Chaos, the literal anything goes,
Yeah.
renegades, against all the rules.
Literally anything goes, even with, warp and anything.
Yeah. Oh no, they all follow one of the same sets of stuff.
Which is Abaddon, essentially.
Which is also weird, we'll come to that as well.
Yeah.
But it's just...
Are World Eaters in there?
No, World Eater's not in here.
Yeah,
we'll get there in a
that's
moment.
right, yeah, because they said that, right? They announced that from the beginning, yeah.
The other one, of course, World Eaters aren't in here, as Locky mentioned, because they're getting their own book soon.
Yeah.
At some point.
Which is cool.
There is a White Dwarf index supplement for them at the moment.
Which sucks.
It's fine. With this, it's fine.
If something's fine, that translates to me that it sucks.
It's it, because you want everything to be broken.
Yeah. I want everything to be good.
You want everything broken.
No, not broken. I want everything to be good.
World Eaters are good.
Okay.
They're not like you're going to put them on the table and just win games.
No, I don't want that.
But they're good.
Okay.
With the book. On their own, they're not. They need other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That said, so that's big disappointment. And it's a big thing that keeps sticking with me.
So do you think that they're doing it because they're going to bring it back with not an army of a
supplement
campaign thing or something?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy that, but I don't think so.
Right. They have too much other stuff going on to do that, right?
It just comes off as just lazy writing. They just haven't been bothered to write it in.
It's because they didn't want to make Chaos broken, right?
But again, all you can do is go, cool, here's all the custom stuff that's the same as the Legion ones, just without one of the benefits.
Yeah, like every other book.
Choose. Exactly. And then you're like, cool.
It would have been extra 2 pages in the book?
Yeah, if that. And then you're like, cool, I can build my custom stuff. Because you just do it in such a way where you can still have narrative coolness with custom warbands.
Yeah.
And it's just not as powerful as the main Legions.
It's actually weird too, because the last 4 books, they've been really creative with the whole how you build the custom Gene Stealer one, how you build the Tower one as well. It's really cool. Different. Yeah. I don't know what the Eldar one was like.
Fairly straightforward. You just pick 2 of them.
And so those 2, right? They were really kind of setting this new trend of. I mean, who knows?
Knights
maybe
were really
was
cool
there
with
and
the way they all worked.
Yeah, exactly. Knights too,
and then you've got cool. So you've got the only other books that don't are T-Suns and Death Guard, which makes sense because they're already subfactions of this.
Yeah.
And then Custodes, which makes sense because there's only 10,000 of them. There's not enough of them to have variation.
Yeah. And there aren't any the hosts are the hosts. There's no stray dudes.
Yeah. So that's
that sucks, man. I totally forgot about that.
It's
that is a real big bummer.
It had been down for a couple of weeks since the book came out. I'm like, this is just terrible. It's bad.
Yeah.
But
I mean, even as well, not only from a competitive point, from a narrative point.
Oh yeah, just from a narrative point.
I mean, you can make up whatever you want.
There's still competitive stuff here.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good book. Okay. But narratively, it's why?
Yeah.
It's a loss of flavour that didn't
make up your own warband and just do what you want.
That's the way to do it.
That's it.
All right, so that's the biggest loss, I think.
Okay.
Is that one.
And that's your Legion thing.
And that's, no custom warbands. That said, all the main Legions are there, as are Red Corsairs and Creations of Bile. So Black Legion are here. They're good.
Are they the best?
People thought they were when they came out,
Yeah,
and Abaddon helps them more than everyone else.
Yeah.
But the more I see people play it, and more people play it and talk about it, they're actually steering more towards Alpha Legion, Creations of Bile, that sort of thing. So Black Legion, they get, and they shall know no fear, basically. and then you +1 to hit if you're targeting the closest unit. Cool. It's good.
Yeah.
They've got a bunch of strats. Which,
That's not locked, and that's just anything +1 hit?
Closest enemy unit to the attacking model when it was selected to shoot.
That's pretty cool.
And then when they charge, they get +1 to hit as well.
Yeah.
Which is great. So that's good. Nothing too heavy to go into there. They're good. If you like Black Legion, you'll like the book.
Okay, so they get a fair few strats, though, per legion.
They do. Each legion, like each main legion, gets a page of strats and then a page of relics. And also warlord traits.
Wow, okay, that's pretty...
So
it's not just the 1-in-1 thing?
No, there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, that's cool.
Each legion is actually pretty well fleshed out.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. Word Bearer is one I've used, and I kept forgetting they had this, but they reroll all hits on return they charge, word charge, heroically intervene, etc.
That's so
which
good.
is amazing. And then they also have a 5-up feel no pain against mortal wounds. Cool.
So they're better Black Templars.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Word Bearers are the inverse of Night Lords.
Word Bearers.
Yeah. They're really cool in 30k, super lame in 40k.
Sure.
Where Night Lords is like the other way around.
Yeah. Their secondary is actually quite good as well. So they all get secondary objectives.
Yep.
The Word Bearer's secondary is basically do an action near the middle of the board.
Oh, wait, so each of the legions get their own secondary as well?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's
So
super
I'll
cool.
mention a few of those as we go through.
So this now makes sense maybe as to why they didn't make the custom thing.
Well, not really. Because they would have made the custom thing, they wouldn't have gotten secondaries. Like, cool, so you'd still always take a main legion.
No, as
They
in like
narratively
why
got
they
those.
chose not to. They're going, oh, each legion has all this extra stuff, so we're not going to bother doing that.
It's dumb.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's maybe how they justified it.
Could be, yeah. They've got some warlord traits that are kind of cool. I'll mention Exalted Possession. Makes a character, like, pretty great.
Does it turn into a demon thing?
Turns him into a demon, gives him a 4-up invuln, +1 strength, attack and wounds, and +2 inch move.
Okay.
It's cool, it's good fun.
So can you put Exalted Possession on a Master of Possession?
Yep.
Just possession everywhere?
Possession everywhere, it's great.
Possession squared.
And you've got a bunch of those that work really well in Dark Apostles and things for word bearers.
Yep.
Makes sense. A bunch of strats that are very cool. Some Dark Apostle specific ones for priests and things.
Can they bring like models back? I know that's a creations thing.
Not from here. There is another way to do it that I'll get to in a minute.
Sick.
There's a bunch of cool relics and things as well. There's a bunch of stuff for word bearers actually, which is nice. Night Lords are there.
Who cares?
Stratagems, relics, etc. Iron Warriors.
I'm hearing people talk about Iron Warriors a bit.
Essentially, it's because you can make almost unkillable units with Iron Warriors, which is cool, but also like it's a lot of investment for something that is probably too far along the scale of unkillable, that you're trading away from actually doing damage and actually playing the game.
Fair enough.
Hence why they're not like everyone's only running Iron Warriors, but they're definitely good.
Are Iron Warriors, a Blitz still like crazy good?
They're still good. Blitz in general are amazing now.
Yeah, Blitz in general are pretty crazy. Awesome.
So they ignore cover, and
That's
then,
super good.
And then they worsen AP 1 or 2 by 1, in addition to Armor of Contempt.
Oh, that's sick.
So
That's mad.
it's great.
That is so annoying for some armies to deal with. Like some armies will just straight up be like, nothing.
Yep. Necrons, nothing.
Yeah, even Admech. Admech's it's like all AP 1 and 2. Yeah.
And then they've got a bunch of warlord traits, relics, and stratagems. These are actually quite good. If you're wanting to build that like unkillable brick of Terminators or...
Do you get benefits for taking heaps of vehicles and stuff?
Not really.
That's kind of lame.
Chaos Space Marines in general are an infantry army now.
Oh, right,
More
okay.
so than they were. Demon engines and vehicles we'll come to a bit later as well, but they're not all they're cracked up to be.
Do you think that's going to change with the Demon Book, though?
It could. I doubt it. The Demon Book is changing everything from Demon keyword to Legiones Demonica.
That is true, that is.
And I think they're just doing that to make sure that it doesn't make all the Demon engines like busted.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yes and no.
Yeah.
It makes sense from a rules writing perspective to have them differentiated.
Yeah. You can still control it, though. Anyway, that's fine.
I'm sure there'll be some things that can make
They
it
can
better.
lap over.
Yep. Alpha Legion now.
So this one you want to talk about properly.
Because Alpha Legion are really cool. Been reading over this and actually sort of getting a few ideas brewing.
Because they're actually a loyalist chapter, everyone. That's why.
Yeah, and a traitor and a renegade.
Yeah,
and
they're everything and nothing.
Are you Alpharius?
Yeah.
I'm Alpharius.
Oh, everyone's Alpharius.
So their Legion trait, Masters of Duplicity. every time you are shot at from over 12 inches away, you subtract 1 from the hit roll. So essentially you get dents.
Super good.
Unless you've got 10 or more wounds, in which case it is 18 inches away rather than 12. And then, here's the kicker.
If you have 10 or more wounds, it's 18 inches away.
Yeah, so
it's better if you're bigger.
No, it's worse if you're bigger.
Oh, sorry.
You've got to be further away to receive
benefit.
Yeah. And here's the kicker.
Okay, that's cool.
Units with this trait are eligible to, in a turn which they fell back, declare an action and charge.
Oh, that's super good.
Which is amazing.
That's so good.
Now, it's going to be like tricky and fiddly because it's not always going to be an obvious thing to do, but it's amazing.
The action one is sick.
And their secondary is hilarious.
Like, because it's busted?
No. Okay, their secondary is one of the more balanced secondaries, I think, in general.
Oh, is this the one you were talking about?
It has the potential to be like
you'll never do it, right?
Incredibly busted, but it's also really hard to actually make work for you. Essentially, an Alpha Legion infantry unit does an action, excluding characters, does an action if they're wholly within 6 inches of your opponent's deployment zone.
Okay.
Yep. So already you've got to be like investing to getting across the board.
Okay. Can't you like deep strike and alien stuff though, and infiltrate?
With some things, yeah. So there's ways to get it done.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's more difficult than just do an action anywhere or on an objective or something like that.
Yeah, right.
When it completes, which is the end of your next command phase, so it's a full turn completion. Okay. So again, you've got to cycle through it.
Yeah. So turn 2 win.
Yep.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. Your next command phase, not in a battle round.
No, your next command phase.
That's so stupid.
Now, every time this action completes, you score 3 victory points.
Okay.
You score 4 if you're wholly within your opponent's deployment zone.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Now, so the action is called Subvert. If this action is completed, while you're in range of an objective marker, you roll a dice.
Yeah.
For cultists, it's a 5+. For Alpha Legion Astartes, it's a 3+.
Okay.
Enemy units can never control objective markers that have been subverted.
What?
They cannot perform actions while they're in range of them.
So you can just like...
You can just be like, no.
Deny your opponent the ability to take any primary.
So you can only do the action if you're within 6 inches of your opponent's deployment zone.
Yeah.
So there's a maximum of 3 in any missions that you can actually do this on.
Okay.
But there are some missions where you'll be able to go, cool, those 3 objectives on your side of the board, you cannot hold. You cannot score.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Most games, it'll be maybe one.
So is it forever, or does it like turn off?
Permanent.
Okay.
For the rest of the game. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to pull off because you've got to be in the deployment zone on an objective, essentially, or towards the deployment zone on an objective, and you've got to stay there for a full battle round.
So
from when you start the action to the end of your next command phase.
Yeah, right. So it's not do the action in the deployment zone, then pick an objective, and that doesn't happen.
No,
you also
need
have to be on the objective. Okay, that's a little bit hard.
And then you need to roll a 3+.
Okay, so there's a lot. Okay.
There's a lot, but
big flex.
You're scoring points, and you're taking an objective.
I mean, if your opponent doesn't know how to screen properly, that's just like I'm just going to deep strike into your, or I'm going to pop into your backfield, and you just put whatever you can to make sure that happens.
Yeah. I would love to show off at some
hilarious.
point. I reckon you can pull this off with 10 raptors on some certain missions where you've got 2 objectives near each other in a deployment zone.
Yeah.
Pre-game, move 10 raptors up, move them in their turn up, do an action while you're holding 2 objectives across a line.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not even holding, I think.
That's what I was...
It's in range, not holding. So do an action while you're across 2 objectives. There's potential for turn 1, turning off 2 objectives in your opponent's deployment.
It says pick 1, though, doesn't it?
It says...
It says pick 1 objective, doesn't it?
Nope. In range of an objective marker, roll 1d6 to see if that objective marker has been subverted.
Okay. They'll have to FAQ that for that exact reason. Because it says an objective, not objectives, or...
If they're in range of an objective marker. They're in range of both of them, so if you do it separately for both of them. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah, because you're 2 units, right?
You do it with 1 unit that's strung out, or 2 units that do it separately.
Yeah,
either way.
Yeah.
And there's no cap on scoring points either. So if you manage to pull it off with 2 or 3 units in 1 turn, you can score like 12 points in 1 turn.
Yeah, but the scoring for you is not even the... Who cares? It's stopping them from... That's crazy.
It's good.
Like, because you could then just like pivot your whole army to be elsewhere. Like, I don't need to be over there now.
Yep. Or put your whole army there and go, cool, you want to kill me because I'm scoring points, but there's no reason for you to be here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. That
said, it's hard to achieve because you do then have to have a unit that survives in your opponent's zone for a full turn.
Yeah, that's the kicker, and then maybe that's where the design choice is there because like, well, that's probably not going to stay. And then if you've chosen that secondary, your opponent's going to know that, so they're like, that needs to die, like
Exactly,
now.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And I mean, you probably need to build a list into it, and then you need to practice and play with it. But I think it works quite well with the whole fallback and do an action.
Yeah.
And there is I believe, it's either a warlord trait or a stratagem that lets you do an action and still shoot. So a big brick of 10 Terminators with all those Stormbolters and things. It'd be pretty hard to shift.
Too bad Stormbolters and they can't do anything.
Yeah, true. Still.
But cool.
That's cool.
It's flavorful.
Yeah. And then there is some warlord traits and some stratagems that will help with that and also just playing the game in general.
Yeah.
Alpha Legion have a lot of tricks. There's pre-game moves, there's redeploys, the whole shebang.
As you'd expect.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. They'll be in a battle report fairly soon as well. I'm really keen to show them off. Empress Children are Empress Children. Pretty boys.
Are they really good in combat? What's their thing?
They ignore hit roll ballistic skill modifiers. Hit roll, weapon skill, and ballistic skill modifiers. They ignore those.
Okay. That's pretty good. Not getting any neg ones to hit is actually pretty sick.
Wound rolls of 6 get an extra AP. Fine.
You'd want that to be like Iron Hands, like giving it a double wound.
That
would have been mad. Yeah. Like 6 is to wound a double wound. Do that.
They've got some fun stuff, but they're nowhere near the powerhouse they were before. Red Corsairs, my favourites.
Yeah, this one seems really cool.
These are really nice. So they're a renegade chapter, same as Creations of Bile. So they get far fewer benefits and bonuses and things. They only have 3 warlord traits, 3 relics, and 4 stratagems.
It doesn't matter because they're super powerful.
But they're amazing. So their Legion trait. Units with this trait are eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which they advanced.
Army-wide advancing charges. Amazing.
So good. Helldrakes, amazing. Bikers, amazing.
Oh my god,
Chosen,
Helldrakes, turn 1
amazing.
charge. That's crazy.
I'm paid 1 of it at the moment. It's good.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I mean, Helldrakes already had turn 1 charges, to be fair.
Right, because they move like 40 or something, right?
Like 20 something. Okay. But this makes them gives you a little bit extra movement with them.
Yeah.
This is actually probably better on like things like Bikers, Chosen. Anything where you're combat based and you want to be fast.
Warp Talons.
Warp Talons are Raptors as well. So good.
Yeah, cool.
And then this couples with one of my favorite types of Warlord or Legion traits or abilities. Models with this trait count as 2 models when determining control of an objective marker, or 5 models if they have a wounds characteristic of 10 or more.
I don't understand this. Like,
it's not obsec.
It's literally the 2 people, every other army pays absolute premium to get one of these things.
Usually for 1 turn with a stratagem.
On 1 unit.
Yep.
And then there's a whole army that just gets all of it for free. And you're
it's
like,
so good.
This just makes...
If you watch my battle report with Ed from a while ago, which I'll link up here somewhere, I get Huron himself to just run over and take objectives off Genesocult vehicles by being there. And then like rhinos and things. Like,
oh, right,
cool.
because he counts as 2.
Yeah, and then rhinos are like 5 models. So I'm like, cool, I can just do so much stuff with advancing and charging metal boxes into things. I'll be like, cool, my objectives now. Come at me.
It's so weird. So I always try and like deconstruct how the process goes from design to print. And the more and more I'm seeing it, because a lot of the books have these now, where it's like one thing that's just like, what? And it's like, this is the intern one.
Well, no, this is the one where they looked at Red Corsairs and went, well, these guys are clearly better than Black Legion, so they gave them better traits. That's all it is.
That's what I mean. So the intern wrote this one because he's like, this is super cool. I don't understand how the game works. And it seems like every single one is just written by a different person. They go, let's get 9 people, and you get... There's a lucky dip where they just pick the thing. It's like, this is a Legion you have to write rules for. And they're like, oh, no, I got this one. Well, I don't like them, so I'm going to make them lame.
Fair enough.
That's my thought.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's really cool.
It is super cool.
Their Warlord traits are kind of fun. There's nothing like super crazy that would stand out with that.
So is there generic, though? Do you have generic Warlord traits?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Okay.
We'll get some of those in a minute.
Yeah.
So they're kind of fun. Revelord on Huron for CP regen, kind of an echo of the old days when you could start games with 16 CP.
I mean, now that's super good. Like, CP regen now I think is really, really, really cool.
That's true, but there are probably other things you're going to want to spend your CP on before the game anyway.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they need a lot of strat support.
Oh, really?
In general.
Okay.
Sometimes. Their relics are cool. They're very fluffy. You've got Maelstrom's Bite has stuck around. but there's also only like 1 or 2 units that can actually take it now, which I'll come to when we get to data sheets.
Okay.
It's a relic combi melter that basically turns into a heavy bolter combi melter.
That's pretty lame. And it's +1 strength on the melter.
+1 strength in the melter. Yeah.
So you're never using that.
Yeah. I genuinely think it probably got worse.
Do you still get the neg 1 for both? Ah.
Yeah.
That's what's annoying. Like I always feel like if you're gonna have a relic combi, remove the neg 1.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like you can shoot both at normal.
Yeah. Armor of Badab is fun. Terminators, cool. And Trader's Laurels is fine.
Because you can give relics to sergeants now, right?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Their stratagems, though, are hilarious.
Or champions. Sorry, not sergeants, champions.
Yeah. So their stratagems are good fun. The one in particular that I just love because it's hilarious is raid supply lines.
Yeah.
It's 2 CP. It's expensive for Nephilim.
Yeah.
Use this stratagem at the start of your reinforcement step of your opponent's movement phase if a red Corsair's warlord's on the battlefield. If it's the first or second battle round, you can choose one of their strategic reserves or reinforcements units. They cannot arrive on the battlefield this round for any reason.
Yeah.
Even if they have a rule that says they always do, like drop pods.
Yeah, again,
You can only use a strat once.
that feels like a relic. Like that should be a relic. And then, because then there's a CP cost, and then it takes up a relic. Because that's crazy good.
It is good.
That's crazy good.
It'd be weird as a relic, though. The whole, like, the concept of it is that they're, like, infiltrating and doing sabotage behind the...
Yeah, I guess.
Behind what's
Maybe
going
just
on.
change the
And
title.
reflecting Huron's whole thing about, like, being a good tactician and attacking supply lines.
Yeah,
and
no,
doing
I
all
think
that.
it's definitely cool. Like I wouldn't say remove it. Like I think it's good. Like it's a sick thing. Just like maybe
A warlord trait, maybe. Rather than
yeah.
A
Something
warlord
like
trait where
that.
you're like, all right, you know, make a Reaver Lord. Change a Reaver Lord to be like, that's what this does.
It's one of those things that I've always had issues with a lot of the 9th edition stuff is the cost. Like, not about is something powerful, is it strong or is it good or whatever. It's what's the cost or the risk reward for having it and where it is. I.e., CP costing, is it a relic, is it a warlord trait, can you take 1, can you take 2, is it for the whole army, is it for 1 unit, those kinds of, and that's the minutiae of design,
It's more
right?
expensive here than if it was a warlord trait.
Yeah, but you're not, it takes up the slot for the warlord trait thing.
You can still end up with like 3 of them in your army anyway.
Still not 3 of the other things that you might want. You know what I mean? It makes the choice harder as opposed to just like, I can still get everything and it's just tacked on top.
Yeah,
so
fair enough,
it would make people anyway, it's irrelevant because that's not what it is. So
Their secondary objective is really fluffy but hilariously bad. Okay. That said, I think, again, if you want us to do a video where I deep dive onto what you can do with them, you could. I feel like there's a list you can build that actually plays that really well.
Okay.
Which I'd be interested to try out sometime.
I mean, that's how you write lists, right? You pick secondaries and then build from there anyway.
Yeah, I feel like it'll either turn out that it's amazing if you build a really specific list that does it,
or it'll just get smashed.
or it'll be something where like, all right, it does that really well, but nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm keen to play around with it. It's there.
Cool.
Then there's Creations of Bile, which are the other Renegade chapter style thing.
Which everyone's kind of losing their minds on at the moment. Seems to be like the strongest one,
So
right?
it's +1 move and +1 strength. Everything.
Oh, that's awesome. That's Twisted Helix.
Yep. And then they fight on death.
Yeah, it's also awesome.
Great.
so
So
good.
they got part of the old Empress Children stuff.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Which, again, also makes sense. Being Fabius and all that sort of stuff, I like that. That's pretty cool.
It's nice, yeah.
And the fight on death thing also really makes a lot of sense because of him with his whole like, "Meh." Can he still inject people and make people better?
Yeah, he still does that, which is cool.
That's mad.
And then you've got their secondary objective is the other like major thing that makes them really good.
Okay.
Specimens for the spider. And essentially you score 3 victory points if you kill a character or monster in combat. Mm-hmm. You score 2 if they were killed in general.
Yes,
So
pretty
you
good.
want to play the game? You want to kill stuff? Have some points. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's just good.
I mean, it will suck into certain armies, but great into others. But that's why it's good as a
But
secondary.
then you also, at the end of the battle, if you've done it across the game, you score additional points for every time it's happened.
What do you mean? You get extra points.
If one or more Astartes, if you've done it to other Astartes or other Chaos Space Marines, you just score an additional point for every time this happens.
Or sisters.
No, Sanctic Astartes is Grey Knights.
Is it?
Sanctic Astartes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So essentially, if you kill Space Marines, you get more points, which is cool.
Okay.
But that's about it for Legion stuff. There's some cool stuff there. There are 4 pages of strats here,
I feel like that's the standard.
which is pretty standard. There's a lot of very specific ones.
Yeah.
Very
I hate it
situational
when
ones.
they do that.
Yeah.
Like, you mean like for model, like units and models?
A little bit more such ones that you're only ever going to use in really specific scenarios.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm kind of okay with. I'm like, yeah, all right. That's,
So as in
that's
like
fair.
it requires checks and balances and stuff. Like, what's an example? What's an example?
It's just not good if you're not. All right, cool. What have we got? So you got a few. These are all like the common ones.
Yeah.
Things like fell prayers. You can chart an extra prayer for 2 CP.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, the cost there makes you go, all right, once per blue moon, that's going to be amazing. It's going to win you a game. And then most of the time, it's going to do nothing at all.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why that's
things like that.
This is the thing. Like,
You've-
the costings, I don't understand.
Yeah, you've got full wounds and stuff. You've got extra psychic powers. You've got all the usual adding things. And here we go.
Is that it's to extra cast? The
Extra
cast
casts.
that power's great. No, it's
Yeah,
really,
it's great.
really good power. That really strat.
You've got things that make you can remain stationary after moving for infantry units,
Yep.
which is cool, but you're not doing a whole lot of shooting stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You've got things like, so you shoot an action for 2 CP, which is cool. It's nice that it's a general thing. Contempt over caution is one that's interesting. You get to shoot something with cultists that are in combat with it.
Oh yeah, definitely
hilarious.
have one of those as well.
It's hilarious.
Anytime when the stratagem's that large, I'm always just like, ugh, it's gonna suck because it's just.
It
like,
does, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and then just do mortals to the cultists.
Let's see. Unmodified hit roll of 1. It scores a hit against 1 friendly Legion unit of choice within engagement range. so it's not even mortals. It's even cooler because on 1s you just hit your own guys. It's great.
And then you got to roll the saves in that for
Yeah,
it?
you
Oh,
roll
that's
the
cool.
full
Yeah,
sequence.
cool.
It's
That's
cool.
good. I like that.
Including if you've used strats to make your shooting better.
No, I mean,
It
it makes
affects
total
your
sense.
guys.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. But only cultists though. You can't shoot
It
into other dudes, like Marines.
No, it is. It's other Marines.
Oh, cool. That actually.
But it's cheaper if you target cultists with it.
So it's
So it's 1 CP if you're only going to kill cultists with it. It's 2 CP for shooting into your own Marines.
that is really cool.
It's
if
really
like
cool.
for example, you didn't. If you had a slap back on a combat and you've got one guy still alive on an objective or something and
Yeah.
you need to shoot it but you don't want to fall him back,
Yeah.
you can be like, oh, cool, now I'm going to shoot them, and then you put your reroll 1s and everything to mitigate your 1s.
You can't reroll the 1s if you use that strat.
Oh, God.
Which is kind of cool.
Totally makes sense, I
like it,
guess,
yeah.
but yeah. I think that would actually come into play more than I would have thought not.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running lots of cultists.
Because you're like,
then,
I'm just going to lose one guy, I don't care.
All right, some standard stuff. Death to the False Emperor is now a strat that is reroll to hits.
Oh,
Cool.
so they've lost the whole exploding 6s thing. 5s and 6s thing.
That's changed. I'll come to that in a minute.
Oh, okay, right.
You reroll hits against other Astartes. Against loyalist studies.
Full rerolls to hit for 1 CP.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
It's good.
That's pretty good.
You've got Veterans of the Long War is 2 CP now, +1 to wound. Fair, we knew that was coming.
So it's not full rerolls anymore.
It was never full, it was always +1 to wound.
What's full rerolls? What's the full rerolls to wound one?
Oh, you want me thinking Demon Forge for Demon Engines?
Oh, okay.
Which is now just +1 to hit and wound. Still good. You've got Wrath of the Chosen, which is a fun one. +1 to hit for Chosen or Terminators.
Yeah, I feel like that's also the generic thrown across the board.
Yep. Otherwise, like there's a few specific ones that you can build around, but not a whole lot that I'll be like, okay, this is like the best thing that I'll use every game. Which
Yeah.
is good because you want to be spending stuff on your relics and your warlord traits because they're great.
Cool, that's good.
Marks of Chaos have changed. It's the next thing over here. You've got, these are now your page point upgrades. 15 points for a mark of Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. Psychos can't take Khorne.
Oh, so there's no like undivided mark.
There's no mark of undivided, but you
That's
cannot
weird.
have a mark, which is undivided.
Okay. It's just weird because that's in the Chaos book. It's like the Chaos Knights book.
Yeah.
There, it's like an actual thing that has its own thing.
It'd be cool if it was a thing, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Okay. Right.
They'll do good stuff. Mark of Slaanesh is worth mentioning. Fights first, incredible. If the unit also has an icon, yep, +1 to hit. Just period.
Cool.
In combat, which is good. Makes Wrath of the Chosen like really useless for 5 points. You can just give them +1 to hit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mark of Tzeentch is fun. You ignore the first failed save. Mark of Khorne is good for combat. Mark of Nurgle makes you tougher.
That's awesome.
Ignore the
Because
first
that
failed
is
save,
like
yeah.
the Tzeentch one. You see how strong Helix Gauntlet is.
Yep.
In like a small 5-man infiltrating unit that you know is going to get shot or whatever. That is really cool.
What's fun with that?
Is that how it works, right? You put one of these on a unit?
Yep.
Is it? Yeah.
You can put it on characters. Almost everything in the book can take a mark.
That's awesome.
Mark of Tzeentch, like Demon Princes.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
crazy cool.
Yep. So this guy down here is going to see a lot of play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're all pretty cool, and the icon upgrades are cool. They're fluffy, they're nice, I like them.
So what's the Khorne one? Actually, I don't know what
Khorne one is +1 strength if you charge, word charge, etc. And +1 AP if you got the icon. It's fine.
Yeah, a bit lame.
Yeah.
And then the Nurgle one?
The Nurgle one is each time. So the Nurgle one's a little bit weird. Essentially, if your toughness is equal to an attacker's strength, or if your toughness is half the attacker's strength, i.e., if they'd be wounding on 4s or 6s, you ignore them. You can't be wounded on those numbers, 4 or 6. 4 or 2, sorry, 4 or 2. Which I'm going to argue is marginally better than transhuman.
So if your
Because
toughness
4s are going to be more common profiles.
So if you're T4 and you're being attacked by strength 4,
Yep.
you can't be wounded.
On a 4.
Oh, all right, so then it's just 5 or 6.
Yep. And so the reason I think it's better than transhuman...
Because it negates it negates the 4, right?
Yeah, because you're still removing 2 dice rolls of potential wounding. Transhuman is 2s and 3s. This is 2s and 4s. Yep.
And 3s.
Not 3s.
Oh.
2s and 4s. So still removing 2 of them.
Oh, if it's half or if it's equal.
Exactly.
Okay, right. That is weird.
And I think it's...
That's weird.
It's kind of weird. But I think it's slightly better than transhuman. Because you're going to be getting attacked by things like bolt guns at strength 4, far more common than than things at like strength 5.
Yeah.
So I think negating 2s and 4s is better than 2s and 3s.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could argue that either way.
There's going to be matchups when like it will be the other way around. But across the board, I think that's a slightly better ability.
Yeah, it's just weird how the others are easy and that one's just weirdly janky.
It is, yeah.
What?
Over in Relics, demon weapons are still there. They've changed slightly. You take a leadership test when you use one, and if you fail, you take mortal wounds. If not, you can use it and carry on. It's better than it was, so it's good. They're all still there. They do different things. They're no longer locked to specific weapons.
Are they super strong though, the demon weapons?
They're fine. I feel like they're more fluffy than anything else.
I really hate a thing that I have to do before I can do the thing I want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think they're more fluffy than anything else. If you're doing some narrative stuff and you love the idea of like taking.
I mean, the idea is cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really fluffy.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people taking them, and I'm not sure I would.
Yeah.
Outside of very specific builds.
I don't think I would either. Like if I have to roll a dice to then and then you just don't get to attack, right? If you fail too.
You can still attack. You just take mortal wounds as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's fine.
Right.
And they're no longer locked to specific weapons, which is good because you've lost most of your weapons options.
So you can turn anything to be a demon weapon? Is that
basically, yeah.
Okay.
You need like a melee weapon. Some of them need 2 melee weapons, but you no longer need a mace or an axe or a pair of lightning claws.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is good because most units can't take those anymore. Now, over in the general relics, the Infernal Tome. What is it? Inferno. No, I'm reading the wrong thing.
Inferno Tome.
That's
We're still in relics.
read. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the next page.
God, you're 3 pages of relics. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Liber Hereticus is what I'm thinking of.
It's a book.
It's a book. It gives a psycho model an extra power can cast an extra power.
Yep.
They don't know one, but they cast an extra one, and plus 6-inch range.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really good.
Yeah, which is amazing. Now, keep in mind, a psycho that takes a mark automatically gains knowledge of that god's specific power in addition to the normal powers. Mm-hmm. So a Liber Hereticus on a sorcerer with a mark lets you cast their normal 2 powers plus an additional one, either smite or the marked one, and all at plus 6-inch range.
And then you put the cast another power CP for 4 powers.
Yeah, and then you got smite as well.
All at plus 6 range. That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Can you get increases to casts? Like +1 or +2 to cast if
The
you're
Master of
Zinch?
Possession can, because he can stab someone.
That's sick.
It's great.
Oh yeah, stab you friendly, yeah? Like,
He stabs a
"Ha,
marine
I
and
need
then
more
casts
warp power.
+2. Right.
Sounds like a very fluffy book.
Yeah. And then you've got the Black Rune, which is
Damnation.
good. Of Damnation. -1 to wound against them. Great.
Yeah, good for Demon Princes.
And then Perils of the Warp near them on any double. Cool. The -1 to wound is amazing there. You're putting that on your Terminator blob, your Chosen blob, something, and just making them next to unkillable.
But how does the relic apply to the whole unit?
Because against the bear, each time an attack is made against the bear as a unit.
Oh wow! Well, that is super
it's
good.
straight up meant
So a
to go on a
relic you can
sergeant.
put on a unit. That is.
On a sergeant, and then it affects his whole unit.
But that's rare, right?
It's very rare. It's incredible.
I don't even think anyone. I mean, there might be one or two. I think that are out there. That is super good.
Yeah. There's a few other ones that are quite good. My favourite is the Black Mace. This is just a strength +2, AP -2, flat 3 damage weapon. When damage spills over,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Spill over. If anyone's ever played like against Death Guard with the melee option, and then you run that 2 CP strat for damage carryover or whatever it's called, that's sick. You can have five or six guys just like wipe 20-man squads or whatever. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's crazy good.
Over to psychic powers. The the Dark Hereticus discipline, the main big one that everyone can access that can access psychic powers. It's basically the same thing as what it was, just all juiced up a little bit. So warp time you now can't charge afterwards, but its range is 6 inches. Prescience +1 to hit, cool. Gift of Chaos, Infernal Gaze, damage, etc. Death Hex.
Are they good?
Remove
Are they
invulns.
good witchfires though?
They're fine.
So they're bad. Remember everyone, whenever he says it's fine, it means it sucks.
It means that you can have them on a Psyker, and you probably won't use it because you'll be buffing things. But if you do use it, it's good.
So you could... Is the Zinch one a mortal wound one? The Zinch power?
The Zinch power is 4 up invuln.
Damn it. Because if the Zinch power was a mortal wound one, you could
4
literally
casts
have
of mortal
4
wounds.
mortal wound dump powers.
Well, so you can do like 2 of them. And then you've got Diabolic Strength, which is a meme on Huron, because it's +2 attacks and +2 strength.
That's super good.
It's great on Huron's Hamadryer, which I'll come to when we get to him, but it lets him cast 1 power, any of these, once per game, sending him as a little missile.
So it's kind of like he knows every power.
He knows every power, and once per game can cast 1 of them. It's just part of
he's not a
profile.
sucker, right?
He's not. It's his little Hamadryer, a little demon that runs along with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Cool.
Diabolic,
that's
but
mad.
him casting that,
No,
you just send him in,
himself,
advancing and charging. He's taking an objective. He's killing whatever you send him at.
I
It's
imagine
great.
that would be awesome on Terminators too, right?
It's 1 model, not a unit.
So you have the cool unit thing one way, and then I guess that would be pretty crazy.
Can you imagine Terminators all
+2 strength, +2 attacks,
hitting with power fists with like 6 or 7 attacks each?
Yeah, that
at
would-
strength 10.
Yeah, that'd be bad. I get that. Fair enough.
All right. Now that's all well and good. The Malefic Discipline.
So
This is where it's at.
You said that.
So the Malefic Discipline
is their,
can only be taken by Masters of Possession.
Oh, okay.
It's the only model that can take this. It's incredible though. Every power in this is good.
So would you say Master Possession is an auto take in every army?
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Now these mostly affect Demonkin units more than regular units, but they do affect regular ones. The standout ones: Pact of Flesh, heal wounds, and then if it's a Demonkin or core, you heal a model as well as wounds. Warp charge of what? 5, I think.
Oh, what?
What was it? Yeah, warp charge of 5.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Space Marines can bring something back up for free, so
That's
I
true,
guess,
yeah.
fair enough.
Cursed Earth is another one of my favorites. Demonkin and Demon Engine models in the unit target have a 4 up invuln.
Okay.
Sorry, this is an aura of 6 inches, not a target unit. An aura of 6 inches.
So from the caster.
From the caster.
Okay, yeah.
Demonkin and Demon Engine models have a 4 up invuln.
Yep.
Anytime they're charged, you roll a dice. On a 2 to 4, they suffer a mortal wound. On a 5+, it's D3 mortal wounds.
That's pretty cool.
It's good. So you're running this when you're running your Obliterators, for example, in a big blob. And you're going, cool, they're all now 4 up invulns, and if you charge them, which you're going to want to do because you don't want them shooting at you, you're going to take mortal wounds.
So the Master Possession, what we're saying is you can get him to casting 4, and he'll only know 2.
He knows 2 and Smite, and then you give him a Mark of Slanesh,
Okay.
Tzeentch is a 4-up invuln. He's got that already. You give him Slanesh for a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Yeah, but doesn't Mark of Tzeentch make you let you cast another power?
No.
Oh.
No. Mark of Tzeentch is ignore the first failed save, which is pretty good on a character that's going to take sniper shots.
Yeah.
But then Mark of Slanesh is just better.
It's +1 hit or whatever it is.
Yeah, but it gives you Delightful Agonies, which is a 5-up Feel No Pain.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy good.
Yeah. And Liber Hereticus means you can cast all of those.
Sorry, that was it. The relic. Yeah.
Possession is fun. Infernal Power is fun. Mutated Invigoration is very good, especially on Terminators. But yep. Then you've got the prayers from all the Dark Apostles.
Oh, yeah.
The big one
This
here...
is like your new litanies, right?
Yeah, these are the litanies. The big one here is... over here somewhere. Illusory Supplication.
Wow, there's a lot of them.
So it's Illusory Supplication, which is Trans-Hitman. On a 1-3, you can't be hit, and you cannot reroll hits against them.
So there's an aura from the... Oh, no, it's select?
Select one friendly unit within
Once you've... And it's just a 3?
3+ roll.
Yeah.
It's a 3+ roll, but you get +1 if you've got any of your little disciples left next to your apostle.
And then each time you do it, they die, right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
But they're going to die first when they get shot, because they're, like, worthless.
Okay.
Now, over in Warlord traits, these are kind of cool.
Okay.
Flames of Spite is reroll wounds, and a mortal wound on wound rolls of 6. It's cool.
That's good.
Especially when you give them a relic that gives them a bunch of attacks and things like that.
Yeah, Demon Princess, that'd be mad.
Yeah, especially with Diabolic Strength +2 attacks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anything where you can get rerolls to wound is great, really.
Yeah. You've got Hatred Incarnate for bonuses when you charge. Rerolls to hit as well. Cool. Lord of Terror is fun, but there's nothing there that I'd go like, this is incredible, you always want to take it. Warlord traits are kind of, for Chaos, which is kind of good, because you want to be spending CP on relics. Now,
which is also kind of fluffy.
It is, it's cool.
Yeah.
Secondaries are cool. The Long War is still great. Rise to Glory, less so.
So that hasn't changed? Is that why you didn't mention anything about it?
The Long War, it's basically the same. Caps at 3 still. I think that the point allocations have, switched. So it's 1 point for each enemy unit that you've destroyed on an objective, and 2 points for controlling an objective that your opponent held at the start with an Astartes unit.
Okay.
Yeah. For the
it's
Dark
like a
Gods
harder shock tactics.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
For the Dark Gods is the Shadow Operations one. The problem, which is fine, problem is most of your Legion ones are also Shadow Operations, and those are better.
Oh, that's lame.
Cool. Crusade rules, good fun. Moving on.
Have you glanced at them at all? I'm assuming it's about creating your own warband.
It would be.
Is that the
if only
theme?
that was good for. Well, actually, no. It's still.
Is that
all
the
of
theme?
No, it's still all of the. Still all the legions.
Oh.
Still all the legions. Still Red Corsairs. All this.
So
kind
what's
of
the
stuff.
point? Oh well. Whatever.
I'm still salty about that. Now, over to data sheets. This is what you were talking about earlier. Death to the False Emperor is gone. It's now a stratagem. What we instead have is Let the Galaxy Burn.
Yes.
So this is our
Asian
dark
soup
version of... This is our dark version of the combat doctrine Space Marines have.
Right, yeah.
Now, in addition, just because, like, fire, all flamer weapons, including the named ones, like Huron's... what do you call it? What's it called? The...
Fisty hand thing.
Fisty hand thing.
Yeah.
Tyrant's Claw.
There you go.
Including Huron's Tyrant's Claw. Just get +2 hits.
So it's D6 +2 everything.
Everything.
Okay. So it's Tau.
Yeah.
Okay.
For all flamers, because why not?
Well, because it's warp fire, right? It like moves. It has a brain.
It has brain.
Yeah, it has a brain. Isn't it like warp fire?
Sure.
It's like controlled by warp entities, so it's not just fire.
Well, it's fire, and apparently there's brains in it now too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Warp fire brain stuff.
So that's cool.
Brain fire.
And then you've got your combat doctrines.
Yeah.
Which are Wanton Destruction. What was the next one? Ramen Destruction. And then Luxor Destruction. Which is...
No.
So it's Wanton Destruction, Wanton Massacre, and Wanton Slaughter.
Yeah.
Wanton Destruction is for heavy rapid-fire or grenade weapons. Hit rolls of 6 are an additional hit. Cool?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, it was Wanton, Ramen, and Luxor.
Was it wonton though? Yeah, okay.
Because you have to start the
Because it
wonton.
adds noodle soup.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what's your favorite Asian noodle soup, everybody.
Or noodle soup in general.
Oh yeah, actually it doesn't need to be Asian. Just noodle soup.
Wonton Massacre is your middle one. This is rapid fire assault or pistol weapons. Hit rolls of 6 for an additional hit. There's a nice overlap between rapid fire and the first two.
So it's not AP, it's exploding sixes.
Exactly.
Okay, right.
Which is just better.
Which is way better.
Especially now Armor Contempt's a thing.
Yeah.
And then Wonton Slaughter is assault, pistol, or melee weapon. Hit rolls of 6
So
for
it's
an
exactly the same, it's just
It's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Cool.
And then there's a few ways to like put units into multiple.
What about,
ways.
have these changed? Like malicious volleys?
So
or
malicious
any of that
volleys
stuff?
is the same. Warp strike is deep strike. Demon engine is now just, instead of being on the data sheets, now it's here. They have 5 up invulns and they regain a lost wound. Cool. That's all standard stuff.
Cool. Have they
there's
always
also-
gotten the wound back?
They've always had that.
Oh, okay, cool.
It also says over here, World Eaters, Death Guard, T-Sons, and Emperor's Children all must take their respective marks on every unit you take for them. Fair.
Yeah, so if you take Plague Marines or whatever.
Take Plague Marines, they must
half
be marked with
unit,
Noble.
yeah.
You've got to pay the points for it, upgrade them, which you want to do anyway because it's amazing.
Just yeah.
Over in data sheets, Abaddon the Despoiler is a beast.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's
Pretty
amazing. He's phase locked. He's character protected. He deep strikes. He kills everything.
I mean, he's fucking Abaddon, guys.
He rerolls everything.
He's Abaddon.
He makes Black Legion better, but he can be taken, and this is dumb, he can be taken by every Legion.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Red Corsairs, with Huron, the better War Master, can take Abaddon.
You can have both of them there.
Yeah.
Oh, so they don't have like a warlord limitation thing like other things?
Because he can be taken in a Supreme Command attachment. Because he has the Supreme Commander keyword.
Ah.
So
Yeah, but you can't take Rebute and a chapter master, can you?
I think you can.
But you can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then that makes sense.
Yeah. So you can take him. He's amazing. He's got a demon weapon that doesn't have the negative because
Obviously,
it's
because
Drakian.
he controlled that thing.
Exactly.
He tamed that demon.
So he's there. He's good. He has all the chaos marks. He's got all of those all the time.
Wow. That's awesome. Which
so,
again
yeah.
makes total sense.
So he technically has Mark of Chaos Ascendant, which is just all the rules together.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Harken World.
I really like they actually did that. Did they do that previously?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because he's.
It makes sense. He's the War Master.
He's favoured from all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Harken World Claim is still lame, but he's also the only Chaos character that can take a jump back.
Who is this dude?
He's the character they introduced when they did the the Vigilus campaign thing.
No, this is an old as model.
No, it's not. No, it's pretty new.
Oh. It's a cool model.
It's a cool model. He's a lame character.
Harken World Claim.
He shows up as the Herald of Abaddon, and then Marnius Calgar gives him a fisting, and that's it. But he's the only character with a jump pack.
His Calgar's so lame.
Yeah, he's the only character with a jump pack.
Yeah,
the sorcerers can't take them anymore.
That sucks.
Your Chaos Lords can't take them anymore. No one can take them.
They forgot how to use them.
Yeah, they just forgot.
10,000 years, bro. They forgot. They're just like, I don't know how to do it now.
Yeah. Huron Blackheart is a bit of an upgrade from his previous model. Not a whole lot, just brought in line. He's got 6 wounds now, which is great.
No 2-up saves, odd.
No 2-up. Well, he's just wearing power armor. He's got a 4-up invuln.
Yeah, but you think he? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Demon infused armor.
You'd think so. But he's only like 130 points or something like that, so it's not too bad.
Okay.
And if you shoot
6
him in
wounds,
right,
pretty good.
Yeah, 6 wounds, 7 attacks to begin with.
Oh wow!
So you have him with 9 attacks with his claw. He's still got his axe and his claw.
Is his claw neg 1 to hit?
Nope. But you make 2 hit
Oh,
rolls
it's damage
instead of 1.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
lame.
but it's like a lightning claw thing. But you make 2 hit rolls instead of 1. So with him,
18 attacks. That's crazy.
with the power off, 18 attacks. It's pretty great.
Strength.
And the power axe is your damage 2 weapon.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. That's really not that great. I thought that would have been stronger in combat.
It used to be like a power fist lightning claw combination. Now it's just like a bad lightning claw.
Yeah, that's it. Does he have any other cool rules? Well, not really.
So rerolls for Red Corsairs. He has Chapter Master rerolls, 4
and then that psychic thing. Okay.
The Hammer Dryer. So once per turn, once per game, sorry, he can cast any psychic power. Cool. Demon Princes are good.
I can't believe they still use that.
They still use the old
picture.
model. The Demon Princes are good. They're just Demon Princes.
They are the same, just in the line with like the Zinch ones and the Dingo ones and whatever.
They've got all the upgrades you would expect them to get in the book.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Some lists will build around them. Some lists don't want them. So when you're building your list, just have a think about if it's actually a piece you need. If you need that damage dealer, centerboard controller, warp ritual unit, it's great for it. If not, you're probably better off just buying more chosen.
Yeah, and if you're doing that, make sure to like look at doubling down on the durability stuff, because I mean, like, yeah, they're T7 with 8 wounds, but it's 8 wounds. Like 8 wounds can go down pretty quick because you don't have a 4-up, right? The invo is
the invo
5.
is a 5+. Yep, they're 4-up against range and 5+ against melee.
Oh, okay.
And then you give them Mark of Tzeentch, so the first one you ignore. There is also a relic I'll mention here for Nurgle, where they can take a Nurgle axe that ignores invulns. Every book has that now.
That's cool.
It's cool.
That is cool. So you can build like an Abaddon combat-wise. I mean, like in attacky.
Yeah.
That's cool, because they get how many attacks? 6 attacks, ignoring invos at like damage what? Damage 3, yeah.
Fabulous Bill. So this stuff. Cypher's lame. Master Possession, pretty much an auto take as discussed, purely because of the Malefic Discipline.
Yeah.
He also has a hilarious rule, the Sacrificial Dagger, which means he can stab someone near him and gets +2 to cast.
So does they just die?
They take D3 mortal wounds.
Okay, so they pretty much just die.
Yeah. It's hilarious on Terminators. You can deep strike them in, stab one, and kill it with 3 mortal wounds.
And then bring it back with the power.
Bring it back in front of the unit, so now you got like a 6-inch charge at a deep strike.
That's probably going to get FAQ'd, right?
Yeah. Chaos Lord and Chaos Lord and Terminator armor, they're cool. They lost all their weapons options. You can only give them... you can give them stuff from the melee weapons list, which is like not a lot of stuff.
Axe, mace,
sword, hammer.
Lame.
That's it. Yeah. No lightning claws, no jump hacks, nothing.
I really am bummed that there's no like. You can take this custom demon relic sword and you can pick from these options on what it does. Like, best opportunity to make something super cool. It's not overly crazy and broken, but just fits whatever it is that you'd like to do and be like, I have my sword called...
This should be the book of customization.
Yes.
And it's the book of just options being taken out.
Yeah. I mean, look, they did the same with Death Guard, right?
This is more taken out of here.
Yeah.
Because these have had models and rules for 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're just gone.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best not to be really salty about it, because I'm actually like, there's so much you've lost.
I think there's...
Because it is still a good book.
Yeah, it's not that. It's more than missed the mark. Like, the thing of what I would have thought would have been really cool to kind of keep going with their status quo of being fluffy, but like...
That's the biggest thing.
Creative.
They've had all this creativity and this like stuff that's actually been going quite well.
Yeah.
And this just misses it all.
Shanked it.
Sorcerers are sorcerers. No jump packs anymore. They can only have bolt pistols now. Sorcerer and Terminator armors are the same thing, but with bigger armor. Lucius the Eternal, still Lucius the Eternal, he's fine. Nothing stand out there.
I mean, he'll get a huge glow up in the Slanesh book.
Absolutely, which will be probably 10th edition, I reckon.
Yeah.
They'll get that. He'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Disco Lord, amazing.
Yeah.
They are...
Always was though, right? Like, or pretty
even more so now.
Okay.
So the Disco Lord
That's the Lord Discordant for anyone who might not be
the Lord Discordant on Hellstalker. Because apparently you can take other Lord Discordants. It's not a Warpsmith on Hellstalker, it's just a Lord Discordant on Hellstalker.
You know what they missed the mark on too?
Yeah.
And this is the last time I'll bring it up. You have this dude who rides a beast. Why can't you have like... Yeah.
I want Chaos Cavalry.
Yeah, man. Don't get rid of Chaos Bikes. Bikes are lame anyway. There should never be bikes in 40k.
To be fair, the Space Marine bikes look dumb.
But bikes in general are dumb. You'd never put...
Jetbike's cool.
Oh yeah, Jetbike's cool. But like
Chaos
wheels.
should have jet bikes. No. Where are the Chaos like warp flame fueled insane jet bikes?
They should have
engines?
Demon Cavalry. That is
Demon jet
way
bikes.
cooler.
Demon engines, jet bikes.
Demonic horses. Like think of like the four horsemen, right? Like that chosen on demon horses.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm
so
just gonna go and order some like fantasy.
The flesh hounds. Like imagine chosen riding the like bigger flesh hounds, like with double heads. That'd be so cool. Oh man. Yeah. And you could treat them like sorry for the digression, the digression, but like Thunderwolf Cav, but like demonic version.
Demonic ones.
That'd be so sick.
So he's great. All his weapons and attacks have gotten better.
Yeah.
And he's nice and cheap, so it's good. The Warpsmith is the Warpsmith. If you're taking vehicles, you're taking one of them. And you're not taking vehicles, so you're not taking one of them. Dark Apostle is amazing because of the sacred rites, the prayers,
Litanies.
the benedictions, whatever they're called. The Exalted Champion is one of the only models that you can take the Red Corsair's Maelstrom's Bite Relic on. because I think he's the only character, that can take a combi melter.
What? In the whole book?
He's one of the only characters that can.
Oh, characters, sorry.
Sergeants and champions and things can.
Yeah.
And you can put it on them.
Okay.
But he's the only like HQ model that can. Which is weird. He's fine. If you need a cheap HQ to fill a slot, he's good. The Dark Commune is the cultist command. It's not a good unit.
The Nazgul.
But I love that it exists because it's such a fluffy unit to have.
Yeah.
It's cool. Now, over to troops. You got Legionaries, which are basic Space Marines. They got 2 wounds now, as they should. They've got a bunch of options and things. They've got all the kill team upgrades, the Heavy Chain Axe, the Demon Blade, the Balefire Tome. That's actually kind of spicy. I kind of want to play around with that a bit more. You can have like a mini Psyker in your unit. It's kind of cool.
Cool.
You can make like pseudo Grey Knights with them.
Cool.
Which would be kind of cool. And that's basically what they do. It's fine. They're quality. Cultist mobs, they're cultists, they're cheap, they're great. Good stuff. Moving on. Accursed cultists, less cheap, less great. Moving on. Models are amazing. Chaos Terminators are great. They're cheap, they're tough, they hit like a truck.
Cool.
They're good. You can buff them up to be insane. There's an Iron
Cheap.
Warriors.
How cheap are they?
Cheap for what they do. They're like, I'm assuming like 25 points each or something.
Wow. Okay.
I'm saying that, I'm not checking. What is it? 33 points per model.
Yeah, so it's the same as everyone else's.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But the amount of buffs and things you can put on them is amazing.
Okay.
Master of Executions as a character is kind of cool. Possessed are great. Possessed, Chosen, and Terminators are 3 units that have the same basic profile with 1 stat changed. So Possessed, they've all got 3 wounds. Mm-hmm. They're all hitting on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Toughness 5, and Strength 5 on the Possessed.
Yep.
And then a bunch of attacks. So Chosen have...
extra attacks, right? No?
Chosen are the cheaper version of Terminators.
Yep.
But you can give them a bunch of other upgrades and things.
And they've got, look, they're not as durable. I see what
They're
they've
not as
done.
durable.
Yeah, okay,
So
okay.
they're like 3 different variations on the same theme, which is cool.
That's actually not a bad way of doing your elite choices.
I do like
actually
them.
think that's actually kind of cool.
Hellbrutes are Hellbrutes, they're fine. Noise Marines.
They get Duty
hilarious.
Eternal?
They got
Or like some like
Monstrous Resilience.
yeah,
Duty
okay. So
Eternal.
okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Noise Marines are fine. Emperor's Children, like just the
Again, they'll get the buff when that comes
Exactly.
through, so don't worry about that.
Venom Crawlers are a unit that look like they should be good. Their data sheet says they're good, but they're kind of a point sink. I don't rate them.
Why is that? Because they're expensive, or
They just don't quite do everything you want them to. Their cannons are strength 6 minus 2 damage, and their weapons are strength 7 minus 3 damage.
yeah,
And
that
you're like,
seems a mad
that should be
profile.
great.
And 6 attacks, 9 wounds,
Yep.
moves 12, T7, strength 7.
well, that's where it comes into it. They're only T7 with only 9 wounds with 3 up saves. Any anti-tank will just clear 3 of these in a turn.
Yeah, but I mean, you could argue the same with Carnifexes, and they're amazing.
You could, but I reckon Carnifexes are way better than Venom Crawlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the weapons and the
I think they're
damage
probably a
output and
little
everything
cheaper
as well.
as
What are they?
Venom Crawlers, I'll double check.
Because Carnifexes got buffed.
Venom Crawlers they're in fast attack now, which is nice. 105 points.
That's so cheap, dude. That's crazy
It's
cheap.
also
for
a
that.
unit of Chosen,
Yeah, okay, I guess.
which is just better.
And you have to take them in units, right?
No, you take them one. You can only
okay.
take one of them at a time.
Oh, you can't take them in units.
Can't take them in units.
Ah, right. Because I was like, you could take units of 3, like 3 units of 3.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, because I was like, that
9
sounds
Venom
sick.
Crawlers
Yeah.
is like untouchable.
Sorry,
but-
I didn't know you could. It was okay. I get that.
Chaos Spawn are amazing.
Yep.
Profile's basically the same, but now if you don't, in a single attack, deal all of the damage required to kill a model, they just heal back to full anyway, which is great.
Yeah, as we've seen in some of the demon leaks as well. Not leaks, announcements.
Yep. Chaos Bikers are great. Again, they're that same variation on the 3 wound profile. They're 3 wounds, they're toughness 5, and 14-inch move.
So it's just black, same as everyone else.
Yeah,
No different.
as in they're a variation on the Terminator Possessed Chosen profile. They're the fast-moving, slightly tougher ones. The Possessed are the mid-range moving, like 9-inch move, with tougher and stronger.
Yep.
The Chosen are the
less tough.
less tough, cheaper, probably more customizable. Then the Terminator unit is the super tough, but
Yep.
expensive one. Mm-hmm. Raptors and Warp Talons are amazing. Warp Talons have 5 attacks apiece, 6 on the champion.
Yep.
Movement 12. When someone wants to fall back from them, you roll off, and if you win, they can't fall back.
Okay.
And they deep strike and do all that kind of stuff. And they have warp claws, which are just lightning claws that are AP -2 damage 1 full reroll. So lightning claws.
Lightning claws, yeah.
So yeah, but they're great. Raptors are fun. They're good units, especially for Red Corsairs.
A Blitz are awesome.
Havocs are A Blitz are amazing.
A Blitz have changed, right?
A Blitz have changed. They've gone from rolling a dice for each of their stats to determine the guns.
Yeah.
They've had their melee profiles buffed, kind of rolled in mutilators because mutilators are gone.
Yep.
Which is fine.
That makes so much more sense.
They looked awful.
Yeah.
But now you just choose one of 3 profiles for the Obliterators guns, which are the Warp Hail, D6 plus 9 shots, Strength 5 -1 damage.
Which is a great profile.
The Ruinous Salvo, heavy, so D3 plus 3 shots, Strength 7 -2 damage.
Which you never care about.
I guess Marines, you'd love that. And then the Focused Malice, heavy D3, Strength 9 -3 4 damage.
That's great.
It's great. And they're all demonic, which is great. They all deep strike. They can shoot into combat that they're in, like tower battle
Like
suits.
vehicles, yeah.
Like battle suits.
Their big guns never tire, right?
Kind of. It's a slightly different variation of it.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like they can shoot within engagement range.
They can't target stuff out of it and stuff like that. They don't get all the extra stuff that vehicles can do.
Okay.
And then they do that and they ignore moving and firing heavy weapons, which is cool. Now, Land Raiders are T9 and all the other sort of small bits and pieces that have been buffed.
Yeah, the las cannons going D6 plus 2 is pretty cool.
Yeah, so Soul Shadow las cannons are a thing now, which is better las cannons, which is fine. They're T9, which is rough. But
is that rough? As in good?
As in good.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
They're still expensive and they're still a Land Raider.
And with no invo, right?
No involved.
Yeah,
Yeah. Similarly, the Vindicators, Predators and stuff have all gone to T8, which is great.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's kind of cool.
They're still expensive for it.
What are they, like 130, 140 points?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, that's too much.
I'll double check again.
For something that can literally die.
Predators, 140 and 130 respectively. For just Annihilators.
100, yeah, 11 wounds. Just not enough.
Yeah.
Go to 13 or 14 and then you'd probably be like, hell yeah.
Similarly, Defilers are 14 wounds at toughness 7. There.
It's weird. How does a Predator be T8, but the Defiler's like this big warp-infused crab creation that's T7?
Well, similarly, Forge Fiends and Mauler Fiends, which like look big and bulky, like this is a Forge Fiend and this is a Predator. Which one do you think's tougher?
Yeah, you'd be through that for sure.
No, there's T7, 3-up save, 12 wounds.
But people are liking these though, right?
Not really. Mauler Fiends maybe, some lists.
Okay.
Forge Fiends not so much. They're just unfortunately not what you want. Chaos Rhinos are amazing because they're just such good utility units. Their profiles are just Rhinos. Helldrakes, potentially amazing. I haven't seen too much use out of them, but I think having one that you can throw up and be this big distraction, messing unit,
Yep.
is probably pretty good. Khorne, Lord of Skulls, big super heavy.
Wow, that's interesting that that's there. I would have thought that would have been not there to be in the World Eaters book. That's weird.
It's a demon engine. Everything can take it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's there. The Noxwolf Crown's a fortification you'll never take, but it's a cool piece of terrain.
It's a fortification you'll never take.
I mean, yeah.
I love that. That's so good.
That's what it is. And that's pretty much wraps up the book. There's a code in the back.
I really didn't think we were going to go through every data sheet, but we did.
I've got to breeze through them all, yeah. There's a code in the back for people who, for some reason, don't respect themselves enough to use Battlescribe. You're better than the Warhammer app. You know you are.
And if you want that code, come join our Discord and ask us for it, and we'll give you the code.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't use it.
You can have that. But yeah, so that's the book. It's... Going through it like this makes me just even more salty about all the stuff we've lost. Which is unfortunate, because it is a good book.
It doesn't seem strong.
The strength of this
situationally book, strong, but not overall strong.
Kind of.
What I mean?
The strength of this book is in... The data sheets are solid.
Yeah.
Straight, solid data sheets. And all the combos you can pull off. All the... adding the icons and the marks and this relic that'll affect this stuff and this...
Feels very character heavy. Like you're reliant on characters to do stuff, or to be these things that
kind of, you're reliant on
this dirt or whatever.
You're reliant on relics and things you're putting on sergeants.
Okay.
Because you can do that and you can spread those out.
Yeah.
You're kind of more like that.
Okay.
But your characters are very important. So yes,
Yeah.
you do want to do that, but it's less of a castle thing, more of a I'm going to pick that and send that out to kill.
No,
someone.
that's what I mean. Like you want, like I wouldn't be surprised if you see lists with like 6 characters or whatever, or 4 or 5 characters.
Yeah.
You know.
2 or 3 is probably still the sweet spot because you only need a couple of them.
Yeah.
But-
Do you have any elite characters? There weren't any elite characters.
Master of Executions, he hangs out
Okay,
there.
send that dude.
Which he's kind of good.
Okay.
So yeah. yeah.
So what's your verdict out of 10?
Okay, out of 10, when did we start this rating system?
We've always done that.
I think we've ever done this.
We've always done it.
We may have done.
We've always done it.
Okay, on a competitive standpoint, they're strong. There's a lot of chops in there and a lot of complex lists.
Yeah, like janky weird stuff, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
which I'm all about. I love that stuff.
Yeah, you do.
So competitively, I'd go about 8,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
Because Death Guard's like a 10, right? It's sitting up there as the perfect book.
Not competitively.
Oh, okay.
As in like generally, yes.
Generally,
Generally, it's a 10.
Because I'm going to average this and the fluff and like the feel of the book score in a minute.
Yeah.
So about an 8 competitively.
Yeah. Okay. So generally like a 7.
Generally,
Or a
I'm going to
6.
say like probably like a 4 or a 5.
What? Wow, that bad?
It's really disappointing.
Okay.
Like,
I did not expect that.
there's no customization anywhere. You've lost all of your options on everything.
Yeah, right.
Half your model range is invalidated. Like models that they still sold when the book came out were invalidated.
Oh, that's no. That's bad.
Yeah. That said, very quickly.
I think they listened.
No,
Nah, they didn't.
no.
They didn't.
I'm going to add a point though because this is hilarious. So 5.
No, we don't have this up down.
I'm going to add 5 because, as usual, the cropping stuff was done by the intern. Hopefully not the same one that wrote...
So that makes it better. That.
Oh yeah, I feel better about this now because clearly there is incompetence involved. So
They haven't heard us. We need to speak louder, everyone. We need to make this a thing.
All right, find the intern that wrote the Red Corsairs thing and let him write the book again, and then find the intern that did the editing and like fire him,
Or her.
or her, yeah. Fire them, or make them fetch coffees for the guy writing the Red Corsair stuff for the rest of their lives. Because the Red Corsair stuff is cool. I like it.
Yeah, which is arguably the most strong and broken part of the book.
I
So
don't
you
think
like
I don't
the
think
strong broken stuff as well, buddy.
I definitely haven't painted my entire army like Red Corsairs from day dot.
Exactly.
So, yeah. That said, I think you're probably looking at probably Alpha Legion or Iron Warriors as potentially the bigger
And creations.
competitive one. And Creation, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Because you've been seeing a lot of creations floating around at the moment.
Yeah, Red Corsairs are good, and competitively you've got a lot of options with them, but they're definitely a janky competitive list, not a I'm going to run across the board and kill you.
Yeah.
The Advance and Charge is good because of the OBSEC, because of the objective doubling.
Yeah. I mean,
Not because you've got all the tools to make your units like the incredible damage dealers that other
they used to
legions
be.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
that's about it. Ended up being a bit longer than planned, but had to get through all the salt.
Yeah, and let us know if you want us to deep dive into any part of it, because there's obviously stuff that we've definitely glossed over, like relics and the legions and bits and pieces, and even if you want us to look at lists or things in more detail and bits and pieces, Dalton, I'm sure will be able to help you out with
Absolutely. I'm currently working on some Iron Warriors and some Alpha Legion stuff to show on the channel, and some more...
With the Iron Warrior models, we totally have.
Yeah, they look at Hazard Stripes, they're fine.
I actually do, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm working on some stuff there, as well as some like nice, really competitive Red Corsairs lists, because if I'm going to take CSM to a competitive thing, I'm going to run Red Corsairs because they're awesome.
And I will say this: we're probably going to do a Chaos 2.0 review once the Demon book comes out, because
that'll change the way this book functions.
We know that you can get 25% of demons based on your relevant faction.
It's going to be very cool.
So yeah, that's potentially going to change a lot of like
what the book does, how the lists function,
how those data sheets are, and yeah.
That'll be really cool. I'm keen for that actually, which is very soon. Demons book is coming out
next week.
This week, I think, when this comes out.
Yeah.
And then in a couple of weeks from now, we'll have our Codex review out for Demons.
Yeah.
Which will be right before a battle report with Demons.
Which
is cool.
I'm so pumped to be doing, because we have so much demons, and yes, it's going to be great.
Chaos. It's good.
For days. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to get this book, be sure to check out Tim from Dice Arcade.
Yeah, he does great stuff.
He does.
He sent us the book and the one we gave away recently.
Yes.
Yeah, hit him up.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.